Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, it's rare that our co-hosts find themselves in the news, but that happened with this one as Ricky Jones, our friend, the professor at U of L, has joined us. Ricky, how are you?
I'm good, man. Always good to see you. I like the shirt.
Thank you very much. I like your shirt, too. That's quite a shirt. Now, I wanted to ask you about what's happened in Louisville. As people know, you were nominated by the mayor to be part of a police oversight commission, and then afterwards, an officer sort of raised some objections. Under your understanding, what happened, and sort of where are we?
Fraternal Order of Police President Dave Mutchler is the person that raised the objections, and then Republican member of the Metro Council, Julie Denton, has supported him in those objections. To my understanding, it is highly unusual, if not unprecedented, for an outsider outside of that committee to raise such objections by testifying before that committee, which he wasn't scheduled to do. And so the question certainly is raised is why he would do such a thing.
Now, the mayor appointed you. This is a group that sort of looks at what? Incidents involving the police and then sort of gives their opinion. Is that what happens?
Yes. They look at cases involving the police, especially when you have fatalities involving police and citizens. This committee serves in an advisory role. It has no ability to hire or fire, subpoena, any of that. So, it's probably a committee that needs to be strengthened. But the fact that the FOP president wants me office so badly, I think, said something. And a statement from Councilwoman Julie Denton, I think, is very telling. She says, she agrees that they need more black representation on that board, but Louisville has thousands of African Americans, so why choose this one?
Okay, well, all right, so that's interesting. So she agrees there needs to be some African Americans, just not you. Why do you think you have created the controversy? They cited some writing you did after Dallas, but what do you think's at the heart of this?
They did. They cited writing out of context that I wrote after Dallas. They cited statements that I made out of context. If anybody reads what I've written, or if they really listen to what I've said, I've never said anything that's anti-police. I'm anti-bad police. I'm anti-police abuse. But really, I think what's at the heart of this is that these are people who have sentiments, and the FOP chief, I think, is at best racially insensitive, at worst, possibly a modern day Bull Connor. But I think what we're seeing here, to cut to the heart of it, they want to keep an uppity Negro in his place.
Those are pretty strong words. I mean, when you say a modern day Bull Connor, I mean, you honestly believe that, how do you think, you really think that's equivalent to what we saw many decades ago?
I don't think Bull Connor will be tolerated in 21st century America. And so I think Dave Mutchler takes that type of rhetoric and that type of sentiment as far as he can. He says that I'm outspoken. Last time I checked, this was a free society. And so if these people don't want oppositional voices, that is a threat to democracy itself. But when you have an FOP president say things like they will hunt people down and they're not afraid of them, they're talking about protesters and citizens, that is a very dangerous sentiment.
Well, let me ask you your thoughts sort of on the police situation in Louisville now. Do you believe that members of the Louisville Police Department are racist?
Some, not all. I've never said that. So are there some Louisville officers that probably need sensitivity training or have racist sentiment? Yes. Is that to say all of them are that way? No, absolutely not. But I understand we live in a country where black men are arrested at six times more frequently than whites. They're prosecuted more harshly for the same crimes. They're 5 to 6% of the population of the country, make up almost half the jail and prison population of this country. So I think we have a race problem. I think we have a police abuse problem that we have to deal with. We can't stick our heads in the sand.
Can you understand at all his worry about you being on it, especially after what you said a second ago about what you think of the chief? Or do you think, hey, it's a committee of multiple...
The FOP president. I want to be very, very clear.
Okay.
This is not the police chief. This is the FOP president.
Gotcha.
And quite frankly, Matt, let me be very clear. I don't care what he thinks of me. I do think that the man is, again, at best racially insensitive, at worst a racist. You look at the stuff that he said and the things that he's done. If he supported me, I would have a problem with that. He does not like me and I do not like him. But what he needs to understand is that the day when people like him can choose black leadership, that's over. So I am less interested in the appointment to the board than I am fighting it out with Dave Mutchler and Julie Denton over that point. And I want to be very clear about that.
So are you going to fight to sort of keep this nomination? If it comes up and there's a vote, are you going to try to fight to be on the board?
Oh, heck yes. My whole thing, as I've said to the appointments committee, and thankfully Chairwoman Mary Woolridge has delayed this hearing until I can return to Louisville. I've had a few speaking engagements in New Jersey, in Atlanta. I'll be back to Louisville next week. She's delayed that so I can speak on my own behalf. It was unusual, if not unprecedented, to allow Mutchler to speak. So now it'll be unusual, if not unprecedented, to allow me to speak, right? And so, you know, challenges unanswered are challenges believed, and I refuse to sit idly by while people like Dave Mutchler and Julie Ditton can characterize me in a way that's not accurate.
Ricky Jones, often co-host here of Hey Kentucky, thank you for taking the time, and we look forward to having you sitting next to us again.
No doubt, brother. Thank you.
We'll take a break and be right back. This is Hey Kentucky.